What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 50 of my Total Warhammer 3 Zhatan the Black Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Kugath was crumped outside of Nagashizzar and his faction has finally been defeated, while his plagues are not quite as annoying as the Skaven plagues, in fact nowhere near as annoying as the Skaven plagues, it'll be nice not to have to deal with them and their particular brand of corruption anymore. We prefer our undivided corruption instead. After that, Yobaz is started to move towards Nagashizzar, which probably doesn't offer too much for us, but nonetheless it should be pretty fun to take it, mostly because it has a full elite stack, very elite stack, as well as a pretty darn nice garrison. So it should be a fun fight, if nothing else, that the Gobbos will actually have to put in some effort to do. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time, well, it's advance on all fronts is what we gotta do. We only have, what, between 15 and 25 turns until the endgame scenario does activate, and we need to fortify the mountains before we get there. The problem there is that it takes quite a few turns to build up the Mega Mortars unless we want to make use of our labor, which we still have a relatively small amount of in order to just speed things up. So there's that. And we do want those Mega Mortars and walls all up when the OG Dwarfs arrive in high numbers. Plus we want all of our armies up and ready to go. But anyway, that'll be a problem for us to deal with as we get a little bit closer. Before we get going in terms of this episode, just gotta remember that this is the 50th episode and once again a 5th episode in the series, and I'd like to once again remind you guys not to forget to drop those likes and comments below, as scheduling does depend on engagement, and of course the length of the campaign, as in how long we will be proceeding, will also depend on the interest in this particular campaign. At the very least, we'll go to the end of the endgame scenario and then we'll play it by ear as to how you guys want me to proceed. Anyway, let's begin with what we gotta do. First of all, and before I forget, there's a couple of heroes that we want to get because we do have more convoys arriving, and unless I'm mistaken, wait, this is complete its journey, so we will have to get 2 new convoys to start on trips. You're returning to the capital, and you have no heroes, so we definitely need to get you heroes in 2 turns, and then we'll probably have to send out one of these guys, who are one of our weaker convoys. Kalani the Father convoy, let's see what you have. Well, you do have some Infernal Ironsworn, too bad no Fireglaves, with the blunderbusses are still ridiculous, so that's fine. And you actually have Infernal Guard and Fireglaves, so either one of these, basically, will be fine. Character experience per turn versus Metallic Resilience Ward save, not bad either. Yeah, either one is fine. Alrighty, well, either one of those convoys does not have any heroes in them, so we'll be getting a couple of heroes, or one of each type of hero. I want that basically for every single... Yeah, convoy completed. For every single convoy, and I know this is a little bit annoying and, to some degree, a little bit unnecessary in terms of admin, but once all of our convoys have one of these, then we can simply just forget about it. Do we care which type of hero we get here? Oh, there's an extravagant Lore of Hushut guy. Let's do that. It's not bad. Alright, Terror Ward, yeah, that's all fine. You are a convoy that already has heroes, and then we'll do these guys' skill points before we send them out in 2 turns. Just gotta get a few more heroes. Now, let's see who else has to move in terms of armies. I do wish that you could hide these guys somewhere. They're always at the top of the screen, and they can't be deselected or anything like that. Ah, yes, Scaff. Scaffy, you are going this way, not out at sea, but generally out this way. Probably gonna loop around and then help Zhatan out, but we gotta remember that he needs the rest of his units in his army, so we gotta complete that. Troop train, you're gonna transfer these things to Mr. Scaff, such as they are, and then you're going to transfer, let's see, well, he doesn't need the... hat cannon, that's going into a separate army. This is our Hell Cannon army. I'm gonna drop these guys in here. I forget what level... We replaced the Sorcerer, right? Or do we need to replace another Sorcerer? Well, I guess we'll see that later. 2 units need to go. Let's take out these 2 Hobgoblin Archers. And there we go. You're good. We can keep these things. We'll transfer them to another army. Yes, I wanted to check you. You are level 10. Oh, yes. Okay, so we most definitely need to swap you out. That is a Lore of Fire, unless I'm mistaken. Yes, okay, so you are also a Lore of Fire. Compulsive. Oh, you know what? You could just replace him right now. And we just summon another Lore Fire guy for the other army. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Oh, we can also summon them at the Fortress of Vorag, meaning we can also summon them... Well, I guess that's the closest place. Alright, we'll summon them at the Fortress of Vorag then. You are going to join Scaff, which means Gorth is out. Not the real Gorth, the fake Gorth. There can only be one Gorth. And you're going to join this army. Scouting. Well, I guess we'll get him the points now, mostly because if we don't, I'll forget about it, and then he'll fight a battle and then have nothing available to him. At least it's easy to do this, and let's do that. For survival, scouting, unless I'm mistaken, we can go piercing shots, always ready. Foe seeker, did this last time, so I'm reasonably sure I remember what exactly we do here. And definitely piercing bolts, flame storm, earthing, magical reserves, arcane conduit, 2 points in Mentor, 1 point in each of these, and I think we can actually max out the tree. Burning Head, Flaming Sword, Fireball, and I guess once again, these things. Careful casting. You know what? We're probably going to be using this guy more for the magical capabilities rather than the physical resistance, so let's just go for careful casting. Probably going to start doing that on more units. Anyway, always ready and you're done. Beautiful. Man, it's so nice to be able to get such high-level sorcerers on the field for anybody. Alright, you two are only level 39, but you're going where you're supposed to be going. Let's also move Luzta in march stance right here outside of Nagashizzar. I don't know whether you'll be needed, but you probably will at some point. I mean, I don't know whether you'll be needed for Nagashizzar in particular. Then we'll also want to replace the sorcerer in Yobaz's army, who's currently at level 18. And is also a Lure of Fire, so we're going to get... Oh, we don't have one. Alright, fine. We'll get one in a turn. Next up, a couple more replacements. First of all, Raiders and Nas. You do not have to move. I guess we gotta move all the Raider armies. You don't have to move onto land, but you do have to move at sea, and we will replace you immediately with a higher level Overseer. Ooh, hello, what do we have here? Full cargo. And we'll go for that. And I see the Skaven here. Hopefully they don't attack you while you're in march stance. But it's not like we really care about these Raider armies. You're gonna get replaced. Replace with another one of the Overseers at level 21. Yeah. Kind of pointless to have these guys at such low level now. Hero activity success, there you go, you've been replaced, and let's get you Unyielding Command, Brutal Disciplinarian, and Harsh Master. Obviously, Root Marcher, Tyrant if we have the space, but for now, Inspiring Presence, Fervent Fodder, and Firing Drills, and then Lucky Lackeys, Lucky Lackeys, and Standard Die. We will want to get Bloodied Bombardment to upgrade the cannons, such as they are. And otherwise, I think we're okay. So, Tyrant for you. And, well, I guess you will actually be raiding. So in that light, you may get Dispel. Oh, this is raising. Oh, do you have nothing that actually buffs raiding? Oh, that's kind of surprising. Wait. Upkeep, Lightning Strike, Ruthless Disciplinarian. Yeah, none of this buffs raiding. I think you can buff raiding through one of these things. Maybe. Or maybe not. Huh. You'd think that these guys would specifically have something that would buff raiding. Apparently not. Alright, well, Survivalist for you and then get hard to hit. And just to double check, yeah, you're not on Lamasu, you're on a Great Taurus now. There we go. Alright, looks good to me. And, oh, yeah, you still have a Sorcerer coming your way. Oh, right. We gotta wait for the Sorcerer, but he should be already at sea. Then, you two, you're supposed to go here. You can't actually reach the place. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll send you out here. We'll replace you next turn. You, however, will replace right now. Let's put you right near this thing. Hopefully you still have movement once you're replaced. I also gotta remember to do the skill points for the sorcerers. You know what, maybe I'll do them off screen, if I can remember to do it. And then we'll just replace you immediately as well. And just gotta build everything up, and oh, there's an exiled, but not an overseer, but we'll probably get him as another troop train. Irate, Glumba the Scourger. Glumba the Scourger, yes. Irate and Glittering Scales for somebody else, which actually doesn't matter so much if we can and get the ability on everybody. As in the manufactory ability. Unyielding Command, Survivalist, then we go Fervent Fodder, Firing Drills, and oh, I guess we will want to get Hellforged Ordnance as well. Well, we'll do it later. Rally, Lucky Lackeys, Bloodied Bombardment, Standard Die, 1 point left, and we'll put that into Hard to Hit for now, because these guys have relatively low defenses. Off the Lamassu, on the Great Taurus, and... Wait, is this the right one? This is the one we were going to, right? Yeah, because there's no real reason to go into the other one. But with 2 of us here, we should be able to take it, so yeah. How about you go? Set sail. And then you are up next turn, once we can replace you with the higher level Lord, and, well, once you can actually move. Alrighty, who's up next? A little bit of admin to start off the episode, but, ooh, yes, okay, we will siege Nagashizzar after stealing some tech. You are not allied with anybody, but I'm pretty sure the Clankarian can't, in fact, ally or do anything in that nature, so... steal tech, please. Success! Huh. Wasn't expecting that. And you are going to keep leveling up. You don't need Specialist, I guess we can go for Spread Corruption. I've never found too much use for Hinder Replenishment. Really in any campaign, in any game. I think I can count on my fingers the number of times I've used it ever in every single version of the game. Also, you have Cunning, which is appropriate. And we could get you Lightning Strike. The thing is, I feel like this Overseer might need Lightning Strike. Once the endgame scenario arrives and there's a bunch of dwarfen armies, the Gobbos will need all the help they can get, so Lightning Strike is what we're going to move towards. You will need all the spells you can get until you are replaced, my friend. Let's get to you Earthing for now, so that you don't kill yourself by miscasting. Gordas, you've got a lot of enemy Dwarf Lords to assassinate still, so let's get you Precise to make you hit a little bit harder. Alrighty, next up, you are going to siege Nagashizzar. Yes, declare war on them. Call your allies to help, I guess. Probably should take a look at diplomacy as well. Close defeat. You're gonna start building stuff like this. I expect that these guys will sally out. They have a much better army in theory than we do. In theory. In practice, not as much. You are then going to move up here, like so. In range. And can you go into an camp stance? Yes, you can. Alrighty. Lovely. And then if these guys don't sally out, we'll jump Lusta in which case we will not need Ulricrish, Zharr Hand, anymore. Alrighty. Also, I forgot whether I mentioned this or not, but there was a concern last episode or the episode before that about our new armies not being summoned, but that's only when you sack things. It's not when you occupy things, so I just gotta sack somewhere. That's what we gotta do. Alrighty, and thank you for pointing that out. Alrighty, Internal Recruiter, Zorky, Yobaz, Stormbreaker, you guys are both good. Internal Recruiter, you will begin recruiting next turn once we have our tech. Troop Train. You're continuing to move this way to transfer stuff, and I guess you guys are as well. Actually, don't think, wait. Gotta get all these troop trains down here while we're at it. And the tech thief. You are the most important one because you have Zhatan's stuff. That's the one we care about the most. Now, Mad Hatter, you've got your dwarf blunderbusses, but otherwise you need skullcrackers. You, Tordrek Drak Killer. Okay, so... how do we do this? We need to transfer stuff to Draj. Wait, no, but the stuff to Draj is not from you, it's from you, from this troop train. A lot of troop trains now. You're just an overseer, but you need to recruit more Gobbos so you can stay where you are. We could keep Draj close by, but then there's nobody to defend Spike Peak. Can you actually... Ah, really? So close to being able to reach Rinda. What about you, Overseer? Ah, no, you can't. Really? They're both just like 1 point away. Oh, wait, no, that's only 1 point away if in March stance, darn. Okay, fine. Can you go into ambush stance? I think you can right here. Alright, how about this? If you go into ambush... I don't know whether this is gonna work, but I'm gonna give it a try. It'll just allow the other armies to close the distance a little bit with the Draj here. You're gonna go right here, and hopefully Rinda will be like, oh look, a weak little army, and then attack this. And then we'll move towards Dringo Karaz up next. Alright, let's see if that works out. Tech Thief, did you steal from Dringo? You did not, so steal from it now. Failure, but that's okay, we're used to it. The rest of you guys, I guess you're just gonna stay here. I guess you can global recruit because the Mad Hatter cannot global recruit right now, and who else is gonna do so? So, more gobos for you, friendo. Let's go 1, 2, 3. And let's get a few goblin archers, and then I guess one more sneaky get. I guess we don't really need the hobgoblin cutthroats in this army, do we? Not really using them for the Gobbo armies. Tordrek, we still have to build up an army for you as well. It's a little bit different than the other armies are going to be. You know what, maybe you... If this is going to Draj, this is going to Zhatan, so we will transfer your stuff to this guy. So that Zhatan can grab the last unit that he needs to transfer. And that'll be it. And we'll max out Zhatan's army like that. You, troop train, come closer. Hopefully nobody just declares war on us and kills our troop trains. That would be pretty irritating. Okay, anyway. Let's continue with whatever else we need to move. As we... Oh, delete, yes. Alright, so... You guys, first of all, Astrogoth, leave this place for now. Just sort of temporarily. As we transfer the rest of this stuff. Assassin, you're gonna move out here. And then Bruzux, and where's the other one? Lasbalk, you're gonna go here. Delete, you're going to go to Astrogoth. Who is actually not going to have any more... Okay, don't need the Iceforge Legion, don't need the Infernal Castellan, keep this guy for now, but we'll be deleting him later. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I guess take one of the Chaos Dwarf Warriors, it doesn't matter. We'll transfer them to somebody else, and then you. Can you, or do you need to transfer anything? No, you're okay as you are. Alright, and delete, just transfer everything that you need to here. And I feel like this Castellan actually needs to be deleted. It's actually level 26, not bad. Materialistic, though. Honestly, at this point, I'm not sure I care so much about the traits anymore. There's no real need to min-max anymore. And then you need to carry the Iceforge Legion down to Scaff. He's gonna be waiting for it, so you can continue being Mr. Delete until you get down to Scaff. Alrighty, Astrogoth's army is going to be ready in 2 turns, I believe. Speaking of Astrogoth's army, I think rather than the regular bull Tauruses, I feel like Envious doesn't work. But once again, I don't really care that much about the stuff. You know what, let's get Fanatical. Interception. Might work when we fight the dwarfs. Doesn't matter that much. Let's get you Fanatical. And let's get you... Metal. Out of these, definitely overconfident. So here's the thing. I was going to go for more Tauruses and stuff, but you can get an upgrade in the manufactory that gives Hellforged to the Bull Centaurs, which means that we can heal them with the casters. So it's better to get these guys on Bull Centaurs and use them to heal, rather than more of these. Or on the Bale Tauruses. Although it would be fun to watch them ride Bull Centaurs as well. Slaneshi Giggle. And also use them as mounts. I guess that's also Slaneshi Giggle. Damn it! Okay, well... What do you guys think of even keeping the regular Great Tauruses as opposed to the Bale Tauruses? I feel like there's no real reason to, right? So one is just objectively better in every way than the other. If, like SFO, they were slightly different like most stuff is in SFO, it would be nice, but I'm not seeing any real reason to actually use these other than they're cheaper, which I understand for multiplayer purposes, but for the campaign, not so much. Well, either way. Astrogoth, you... Oh. I should have transferred another one of these guys. You know what? You, leave the army. And then you are going to join the army. And I guess I was going to delete you because you have a garbage trait. And I know what I said about traits, but nonetheless. At least in Astrogoths, you should have decent traits. And actually, the Bull Centaurs do tend to have some decent traits, so yeah. We'll delete you. Astrogoth has a much better one, and then Lasbalk will join him. Actually, what will we have room for? Assuming that we get 3 Centaurs and then 2 casters, we will have... Yeah, we're definitely running out of room. We need shielded Bull Renders. Yeah, I think we'll delete the regular Great Tauruses. Not much purpose to them. There's just not enough room in Astrogoth's army to have everything. And I want the main line to be composed primarily of these guys. Alright, we'll see. We'll see. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Don't worry, the episode will not end until we get a battle, administrative or not. Mad Hatter, you stay where you are. Tech Thief, yes, alright, finally. It's time to move the Tech Thieves and then we'll be done. Have you actually reached Moonshard? You have, so to Arnheim. Here you go, then we do diplomacy, we do buildings, then we're done. Alright, go, go, go. I really so much wish that they would fix the frickin' pop-up thing. It's extremely irritating. Doesn't make any difference, it's just when you see it like 50,000 times, you know? Alrighty, you to Castle Von Araucan, please. We'll have to watch out for Vaha here. Yes, okay. Every single time somebody moves, somebody else somewhere notifies us that they got a Taurus. We really needed to know that. You can move up to... there's already a Tech Thief here. And you've already succeeded at several places. Okay, fine. I guess you're gonna go to Bereg de Wazbeg. You do have 2 turns after all. Uncover what's there, probably Skaven. And... oh, there's nothing there. Is there nothing there, or did he not reach it? Well, I guess it's not important. We'll go somewhere else. Either way, we can reach Renka Hills or Doc Karaz. Next Thief. Have you done Balea Sorrow? Yes. Have you done 8 Peaks? Yes. Damn, you've done both of them. Laneshi Giggle. 2 Crooked Fang Fort? Nope, I guess you could try one of these again, but your chance of failure grows each time. Okay, make me look like an idiot, and succeed, and there we go. Hey, I still prefer that to you failing. I'd rather always look like an idiot. Not that that's a high bar. You can go to Kazir Kulaz, return to Kazir Kulaz next turn, and that's it for those guys. Alright, Diplo and buildings. Let's do Diplo first, just so that we have money to spend on it if we need to. Harganeth still not willing to trade, but getting closer. Scryer, just out of curiosity. -7 for non-aggression pact. What if we join war against Talzin and Vidrioth? Oh wow, okay, that's much more than I was expecting. The Wood Elves will probably never get to us. This might be a decent shot. Funnily enough, the Wood Elves really don't like the regular dwarfs either. I wonder how they feel about us, actually. Huh, wait, do we know either one of them? Just out of curiosity. How do they feel about us? It would be really funny if we could actually ally with the Wood Elves. I don't think we can. What's it? -76, eh? Huh. That's quite interesting. I mean, they're fighting Reichland and the Golden Order. Huh. You know what? What if we ally with one of the other Skaven than Scryer? And by virtue of us attacking all of the enemies of Durthu, what if we manage to ally with Durthu? You know what? I'm gonna hold off on pissing off the Wood Elves. I kind of like this idea. I don't know if it's possible, but imagine Wood Elf units like tree men walking around with Chaos Dwarfs. It seems quite odd, but you know what? I like the idea. Scaling, you are at war with Northern, yada yada yada. Alright, fine, we'll do this. Give us your 283 money. We'll take it.
Are you a god?
We like money. Cult of Pleasure, Subtle Torture. Well, we will ally probably with Cult of Pleasure at some point if they survive, but otherwise not right now. Shadow Legion, you know what? I think it's time to just do the defensive alliances with these guys.
Welcome.
Let's just do it.
Let me keep
Alright, to get us a very solid amount of cash. Would you be able to join war against anybody that we dislike, like, say, Eotain? -43. Bellicor, you're a little coward, so give us your money, I guess. At the very least, this way we can build some more outposts. Probably not going to get too much value out of them, but, you know, because we can. And I'm not even going to bother asking Legion of Chaos to join anything. And they're both probably too afraid to do so. Alrighty, there we go. We will probably get... ooh, hello. Korn, willing to give us a mission, yes please. Thena, Imric, and Rinda. Rinda's the one we're going after. Ooh, but it's 3 less allegiance. Yeah, but it's likely that we can kill her much faster than we can kill these two, so Rinda it is. Alrighty, Wintertooth, yes. Vaja has a full army. Let's try Vaja. Or Vaha. And Gormrand, you again, Thena. Oh, it's actually, this is Archaon? Okay, we actually don't care which mission we take for Archaon, doesn't matter. Alright, there it is. Next up, a Diplo done, so building. And, ooh, yes, the most important thing, this, Temple Training, which will give us a minus 10% armament cost reduction for Bull Centaurs, which is what we're going to be building next turn, and increasing their capacity by a fairly large amount. Don't care about buildings here. Let's go next. We went from the bottom the last 2 times, so let's go from the top this time. Alright, more armaments, more money for more armies and stuff. Okay, but probably neither one of these. Yes to the walls, though. Yes to the weapons workshop. We don't really need this here, at least not at the current time. Hanyu Port, yes. And definitely upgrade all of that, but hold off on the public order thing. Our public order is looking pretty good already. You're actually fine. We don't technically need these other than for capacities anymore. You have outposts. And there's, well, I guess we're gonna build the lava fields for the Centaur capacity increase. We're gonna need that, and yeah, there's nothing else to build here, which means another ash level. And Hanyu Port is fairly far from anything, so it's not gonna get attacked by anything either. You are gonna upgrade to the next level for that Centaur capacity, even at the cost of armaments. Everything else looks fine to me in this particular location, so let's go next. Public order, money, yes. And what do we have here? This is Imperial Road. And it is, again, fairly far from anything, and it has got a bunch of outposts, so once again, ash level for Castellan and lava fields. Upgrade those monster pens from you. This is once again public order, and I don't believe there's anything else to build here. Which means I guess we get another ash level. Alright, it's all hero capacity. Since we're building like 1 billion heroes everywhere now, it makes sense. Get you that goat herd, get you that weapons workshop, get you that money, get you that expensive incinerator, though. You know, we don't need it right now. Let's hold off on it. I feel like there are better choices. And I guess that other war level for more Castellan capacity. Alright, Trading Hub, most definitely. Treasure Hall, most definitely. And we're pretty much out of at least this type of money. Which means, unless there's nothing else to build here... Unless there is something, rather, that's the opposite of what I said. Now we just have stuff to build for cash, so that's much faster. Because they're easy finds. And, well, I guess more of this stuff. Wait, where is this? Karakazorn. Ooh, wait. Karakazorn will be attacked, meaning we need Fane Guard and we need a Mega Mortar. Because Karakazorn will spawn the Karakazorn Minor faction. Almost did the wrong thing there. Bad Ruinous. Let's see. Alrighty, Black Sluice Gates and Black Water Sluice Gates. And then you... Do you need a Mega Mortar at the Tower of the Sun, I guess is the question. And the answer is sure. Just in case. We can always delete it later. Great Canal, you are going to go for... Ooh, you don't have a Demon Smithy. How dare you not? Wait, that probably means you don't have... No, you have everything else. Huh, alright, Demon Smithy it is. Alrighty, Serpent Estuary, and we got a tiny bit of money remaining, so we'll just spend it on whatever else we can. You are not going to bother with Incinerator. Let's go for more lava fields. Okay, that looks good enough to me. Skip. Outpost available. Skip. We'll do it next turn. Alrighty. Here we go. Let's end the turn. Let's see if Nagashizzar tries to attack us. Hopefully they do. They have the advantage here. And if they do, it'll be a heck of an epic fight. Alright, somebody's moving around up here. I don't see why that's a thing that we care about. Kairos wants us to join the war against the Cult of Sigmar, which we probably will, just not right now. Wait, if we keep not fighting with enemies of Cult of Sigmar, won't they... Oh, the ambush actually worked. I'm just wondering whether we should bother with this. Here's the thing. I'd much rather fight the battle at Nagashizzar. I think it'll be a much more epic fight. And they have no chance whatsoever here. It might be a fun... But nah, it's just a bunch of basic spears. No, we're not gonna bother. I want a good fight. Not this easy win fight. Draj could probably clear most of this army by himself, and that is... that's meh. Alright, auto-resolve it. How much damage did we take? More than I would have expected, but... we should heal to full anyway. And we will take the labor... Oh, I forgot to do the labor again. But you know what? We had enough admin on the start of the episode, so... Transport captain. Alright, come on. Nagashizzar, sally out. Do it. Or clan carrion, whatever. Are they one of the last? Are they closer to the rogue armies rather than the regular Skaven? Just looking for their symbol up here. I passed them. Alright, fine. I guess we're gonna have to attack them manually instead then. Alright, well, if that's what they want, that's what they'll get. Trait gain, supervisor, sure. Now, I assume that this is the only good battle, right? I don't see anybody else with a full stack nearby. Oh, hello. Thorgrim is sieging Karak Azul, which will probably give us a good reason to return up here and attack, and maybe even put Draj in ambush, wait for Thorgrim to attack. Ooh, he's got Ironbreakers. Man, I wanna have a duel between Ironbreakers and between units of Infernal Ironsworn. Alright, hey, where are you going, Charon? Don't take territory in the mountains. Ugh, I swear. And Ungrim's back, but not close enough for us to attack yet by the looks of it, unless there's a lizard army here, and I don't see one. By the looks of it, it's going to be Nagashizzar. Alright, well then, Nagashizzar it is. Let's move Zhatan to Resetra. I was hoping there would be a full stack out here, but apparently not. Auto-resolve this garbage and occupy the place as factory. Probably could have sacked it to get the new army, but you know what? We'll sack... Avalorn Renate against us. We'll sack the Temple of Skulls. And we'll establish a tier 5 settlement there. Alrighty, so here's what we'll do. Ulkrish Zharhan, you're gonna move away. And you are gonna move in. With a jump. A hip and a scop and a jump. Hip? Skip? Hop? Damn it! Maybe I just have hips on my mind. Alrighty, anyway, yo Buzz, you are going to go. And Valiant Defeat. It said close defeat before. Am I crazy or did it say close defeat before this guy came in? What the heck is going on here? What level are you? You're level 19. These guys are buffed. How many artillery pieces do we have here? Nah, I guess it'll take some effort to bring the enemy down in terms of that, but it's okay. Here we go, Nagashizzar. They do have warp bombs, so we need to make sure that we force them to waste it on the Hobgoblin Sneaky Gets. How many uses of Menace below 6? We'll have to watch out for that as well, protect our magma cannons, but otherwise, should be a fun time. Alrighty, I gotta remember to take one of these guys off the llama, so probably the Lord, and then put the, well, keep the hero on the llama. So, but anyway, here we go. 'Tis Nagashizzar, probably the hardest Skaven target that we're likely to encounter, at least short of Skaven Blight itself, and we probably will never bother to go after Skaven Blight, as we do probably want to ally with, well, potentially want to ally with them. Anyway, we're going to start off by bombarding the enemy settlement, and the enemy is going to counter with summoning those Menace Below clan rats. That said, this is going to... Yeah, as we can see in the background, the enemy towers are now firing. We were before obviously hidden with our Vanguard deployment, or not Vanguard, well, we do have Vanguard deployment, but the enemy were able to spot us from hidden due to the fact that the Menace Below got summoned, which is kind of interesting. An interesting use. The enemy, of course, can summon them because it knows where our magma cannons are, but this certainly has led to a few losses in terms of our Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. That said, every single use of a summon like this will mean we can surround and kill them before the enemy can annoy us, and hopefully the enemy just runs out of uses after enough, uses, and then we won't have to deal with them attacking our magma cannons from the back lines anymore. Hopefully they don't maintain enough leadership to pop a warp bomb on these guys, but we shall see. It does look like they tend to break very, very quickly. And of course, while all this is happening, our magma cannons do continue to fire while belching all that smoke into the air. Ah, you gotta love the Chaos Dwarf artillery. They're quite fun, aren't they? Huh. And I see that the magma cannon also has a little, like a towing thing. Kinda neat, actually. Fire, please. There we go. Alright, it's been a little bit of a while since we watched those. Anyway, they brought down the first enemy tower. The second enemy tower has fallen. There are also breaches in the walls here and here, which is going to be fairly helpful for us, as well as this gate, which is very close to being broken. But we are going to attack here so that we don't activate these towers. And the reason I didn't attack in this place, which I often do depending on the faction and the particular situation, is the fact that one of these towers... this tower is indestructible. I don't know why the devs decided to make this tower indestructible, but it's always indestructible on this map for some reason. This specific tower. Maybe it's to counteract that we have an easier time attacking from here, but there are other maps where there are no towers in certain places, so much less indestructible ones. So I don't really understand why that's the case. I wonder if they've even noticed it. Maybe it was an accident of some sort. Well, regardless, not important for now. We are going to get our lords and heroes up on the walls. Those Lamasu should make fairly quick work of the Skaven slingers up there. I believe these are Night Runner slingers. And even though they're Lamasu, so they'll be a little bit slower than the Bale Tauruses at killing stuff, they should still be quite quick enough. And it's not like they're too threatened by any of this, though there is an assassin up here, and we are going to try to work on the assassin. Going to debuff him with the Withering and Enfeebling Foe, and then just keep hitting them with the Lamasus. And I wonder if the plural of Lamasu is Lamasu or Lamasus. I assume it's many Lamasu, as in no S. But anyway, ooh, and I see that the enemy fires their Plague Claws at us. Can't really see what's going on because of it, and they're probably, in fact, no probably, but definitely hurting their own units far, far more with that. We've also used the Darkened Mist from one of our items, which hopefully did a little bit of damage. In fact, might be an easy way to compare. So you, Yobaz, have 38 kills and 5k damage, whereas the Overseer has 28 kills and 2.6k damage. Yeah, so an extra 2.5k damage from the Darkened Mist, roughly. Though Yobaz does hit a little bit harder, it probably isn't that much, so... That's at least around 2,000 damage. Not that much, to be fair, but it's also because the item was designed to affect bigger groups. Anyway, in the meantime, while these guys are on the wall, our hero has dropped down to annoy the enemy. We've summoned our Kadai Fireborn on top of the two enemy rattling guns, and while they are distracted, both they and the Gobbos here, and ooh, I think I just saw a warp bomb there. Wasted as well, I think, though it did hurt our Kadai Fireborn a little bit. But yeah, I see a Burning Head coming in, a Flame Storm coming in as well. The caster just doing all the damage that it can while it's here. Though it does have to be a little bit careful as the enemy is firing at it with its various units. But the most important thing was to get these two units of rattling guns off the field, and I do believe our Fireborn have succeeded at that before dissipating. Or being banished. Alright, there we go. Rattling guns are out, and the other one, I believe, ran off or is about to run off the field. With about 2 remaining. Our hero did get hurt because of that, though. He did get damaged by the various gutter runners here. 3 units, but to be fair, they got even more damaged by his Flamestorm, so it's certainly something we can take. Anyway, the gate has been broken through, and we're going to start sending piles upon piles of Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits into the enemy settlement, while the walls are bombarded by our magma cannons and our various units of archers. In the meantime, the breaches in the walls will be a way for our Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders to get through. And they can try to hit the enemy artillery pieces as well as the enemy mortar teams as well. Looks like we managed to silence that unit of Plague Claws, though at the very least, well, it's not dead, but the Plague Priests that crew it are now away from it, and we should be able to kill the rest of them from range. The enemy is chasing us, however, with that Hell Pit Abomination. We're just going to run ahead and pass it on the other side. In the meantime, our hero, our caster, has returned and has another Flamestorm in store for us, while the rest of our lords and heroes are going after these mutant rat ogres. The first one is just about done for here. And we will be focusing the second one down as well. We do have those enfeebling foes and the witherings from the lava stew. And look at all that fiery gloriousness in the background as we drop more flame and shadow and piercing bolts on the enemy. Looks like the first of the enemy rat ogres is done for, at least trying to escape, though failing to do so as it falls. And now we're going to move on to the second. We are starting to take damage on our lords and heroes, but hopefully not so much that they drop too low. There's another piercing bolts. And these guys are certainly doing work. They are not the only ones doing work, however, as the enemy Plague Claw crew has been destroyed now, and now our Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders are going to be targeting that Hell Pit Abomination. In the meantime, we got plenty of those Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits moving into the settlement, and this is obviously the second army's Sneaky Gits. Our first armies, our elite Sneaky Gits and Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, are all still waiting back here, or not Wolf Raiders, but Cutthroats and well, not the archers. Archers are actually helping out, but they're all waiting back there. The reason for this being that we don't want to get hit by a warp bomb and lose a tier 9 unit or a 9th chevron rank unit to a warp bomb, so it's easier to just feed these units that we globally recruited that are low level and are not buffed in Gorda's and Yobaz's army. Besides, we have so many of them, they can simply overwhelm the ratlings inside the settlement. Alrighty, looks like the Hell Pit Abomination has actually given up on chasing the Goblin Wolf Raiders, which does make sense. It was never going to catch them, and it is instead going to go after the after our own units here, our lords and heroes. It is have potential to do a decent amount of damage, though it is blinded by an effect. 29-15 on, or 30 and 61 on the stats there. Nothing crazy. But our units are tired, so at the very least the vigor is at least somewhat working against us. That said, we now have 7, I think, units of the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders firing into the back of this thing. And down it goes incredibly quickly, just like Kugath before, when we combine the heroes attacking, plus all those units of the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. Well, they do work quite well. In the meantime, we continue putting more and more Hobgoblins inside the enemy settlement. These Storm Vermin will not hold against the sheer numbers, and I do believe Gordas is in here as well. He is now chasing the enemy lord down, who he's found and should be killing fairly quickly as well. This turned out to be a really fun battle. I mean, to be fair, we were expecting this to be a fun battle just by virtue of the sheer number of enemies and the fact that we have nothing fancy here. No crazy artillery pieces or crazy monsters or anything, just good old-fashioned hobgoblination. Otherwise, we are moving through to the rest of the enemy city. We are capturing any capturable points with any Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders that have been too damaged to continue the fight, and they are destroying towers as they capture. So that's going fairly well. Gordas has the enemy lord down to about half HP, and the enemy lord being a Grey Seer and doesn't have much in the way of a fighting chance here. Couple more hits and he should be done for. I believe Gordas can't activate his abilities quite yet, but we'll be able to soon. He did use them on helping out against the Hell Pit Abomination there. And it looks like the wolf does have enough mass to knock a Grey Seer down, which is great. Alright, and he's nearly done, and we're even going to move in and help. Though I doubt that Gordas has needed it. And that should be pretty close to the end of the battle here. Heroes leading the charge once more. There's another Dark Mist on another enemy unit of Storm Vermin. How's that gate looking? Looks like all the Storm Vermin at the gate have also broken, and we do have archers on the walls that have started to help out as well. We do have a few more Hobgoblins that have charged deeper into the enemy settlement down here, and they're fighting off enemy clan rats and, by the looks of it, Storm Vermin. Oh, I like the sort of rusty... I don't know, patina that we've got going on the on these guys' helmets. I wonder if that's actually like poison or some sort of warpstone thing. But it's not the color of warpstone. I just like the look. Alrighty, well, at least they are winning in one location, as our hobgoblins are having kind of a bad time here. Well, that's okay, because we can simply put a firestorm in the enemy's faces as we back off our goblins. They are still alive at about 25% and maybe 30% HP. We just want to back them off so that our own flamestorm doesn't kill any of them off. And any new enemy units that try to join the fray will have to get past that flamestorm to do it. Otherwise, it looks like we're advancing on pretty much every front. There's still a few enemy units defending, but they will be overrun by hobgoblin wolf raiders, and it doesn't really matter what they'll be overrun by because the enemy will shatter and the battle will go to us. Beautiful. There we go, absolutely beautiful. And once again, for some reason, I remember to chase all the units down when we're fighting enemies in the field, but I always forget to do it in the settlements. Yeah, it also does seem like a hassle to chase through settlements, I guess, to some degree, but we have, what, I want to say 12 units of Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders in these two armies together, so they would be fantastic at chasing. I gotta make sure that we do it next time. Anyway, there we go. Nagashizzar has fallen, and the enemy did put up a very valiant defense here, but at the end of the day, without much in the way of spell work, which we had a ton of, and our own numbers were almost as high as those of the Skaven, I'm sure, we did carry the day. In fact, I want to see the number comparison. Were there more rats or were there more hobgobbos? Ooh, we got an Armor of Destiny as a reward for that. Very nice and well-deserved, I think. That was a pretty darn good siege to have on our 50th episode here. And we were able to take it mostly by using the essentially auxiliary forces, rather than the more elite hobgoblins that we have in Yobaz and Gordaz's army, which is also appropriate, because you know that they'd send these, the new guys into the maws of the enemy cannons and whatnot before committing themselves. Very appropriate. We are going to, I guess, sack the place and then take it at tier 5. We do have plenty of the influence, and sacking it will give us a very solid amount of money and labor as well, so sack. Like so. Ally mission successful as well. Well, isn't that just lovely? In fact, just out of curiosity, while we're here, what allegiance do we have with Khorne at the current time? Warhost of the Apocalypse is plenty, but there's really not much in this army that we would get too much use out of. Maybe some Dragon Ogres, as I was saying earlier. Maybe the regular Chaos Knights, but I'd really prefer the Exiles of Khorne's Knights. Speaking of the Exiles, what do we have here? 26, not so bad. And ooh, Minotaurs are only 10 allegiance. Oh, I like that. And we got the, well, I don't really care for the vanilla Skull Cannons. They're meh as compared to the SFO Skull Cannons, but the Blood Shrines and their melee buffs ain't too bad. Only 5 allegiance for Fleshhounds, which would be quite nice as well. And 11 for Chaos Knights of Khorne. Yeah, this is obviously our research doing this, at least reducing the cost here, but it does look like we'll be getting Khornate units before we get the endgame scenario, which I'm going to really appreciate. I'm definitely going to make use of those. Doom Knights are at 19, a little bit on the more expensive side here, but only 10 for the Flamers of Tzeentch. I don't see Exalted Flamers yet, but the regular Flamers are quite nice as well. What about Wintertooth? We don't have access to anything good from the current location, but hopefully we will soon. Anyway, let's just quickly take Nagashizzar tier 5. Hopefully one of you can... Yobaz, if I could select you, there we go. Take Nagashizzar. It doesn't have a Skaven plague. Please tell me this is a Kugath plague. Yeah, okay, it's a palsy. Okay, good. I was very concerned that we'd get the Skaven plague by moving in here. Occupy as tower tier 5. Fantastic. And this will be a nice location to set up a Mega Mortar. We have a Monster Pens, which means our capacity is up to 12. Bully. That's the only thing we have access to here, but yeah, very nice, very nice. And, oh, what? We can't build the special location of Nagashizzar? Am I confusing this with SFO, where everyone can build the Nagashizzar location? Honestly, you would think the armories of Nagash and the Skaven there would still be of use to the Chaos Dwarfs. It's a little bit disappointing that we can't build anything there. I'm actually curious as to whether we can actually build anything at the Black Pyramid. I don't see the special location there. Huh. A little bit odd. I find this a little bit odd because while chaos magic and the undead magics, generally speaking, or Nagash's magic, or undeath, like not the Nehekaran magics, but the vampire counts magics. These are all types of Zharr, and they're very chaos adjacent. They're all dark magic, and I do still feel like the chaos dwarf sorcerers would still have use for all this stuff. But anyway, either way, that's not important for us right now. What is important is that we use this to build a prototype mega mortar and then bombard enemy dwarfs as they appear from Karak-Azul, for example, over the endgame scenario. Anyway, obviously we're out of time, and I'm gonna have to call it here. Next time we continue to advance, probably towards the desolation of Nagash, and start fighting clan Moors as well, though they're pretty much destroyed. Hopefully we can get a battle going with Thorgrim as well, which I would love, and we'll see about what we can get up to in Ungrim's territories, though it's only a matter of time before we declare war on the Crooked Moon as well. So stay tuned for all that. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. Zhatan also has lizards to fight. Astrogoth's army will be built up this turn actually as well. So yeah, more new stuff. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. Whatever else I was saying, all glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.